Okay, so, and again, whoever...
And my daughter will tell you, I mean, there's no bruising or anything else. There's
we would have figured that out if we were able to talk to
But the thing is, it didn't even need to get that far because it was nothing to start with. Just because someone says something, okay, I could drive past your house if I knew where it was. I don't. But public records are a different story. But, you know, and see you yell at your dog, your cat, your kids, your significant other.
And you can call the police.
And say whatever the hell I want.
I saw a man yelling at a woman.
And
here's the address.
And basically it's swatting at that point.
And police would have showed up.
Yeah.
They would have.
How many?
We always come in twos. I don't know what other departments have, but we always come in two.
But I mean, ultimately.
Yeah.
I mean.
So, and again, I can tell you just alone today, we've had probably a dozen calls of people telling us, I saw this, I saw that, I saw this, and then now they're hitting each other, and we still have to go.
And the weather is getting hot. Tempers flare up a little bit. When not everybody has air conditioning, or you're just cool at night, you're hot in the day, and you're going back and forth.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Miller. Let's say that one call that a woman or a man was actually getting hit and hurt, and we didn't show up because we thought it was swatting, then what would have happened?
I'm not saying don't show up. Okay. I'm not saying not to show up.
Okay. And
I'm saying escalation upon showing up. When someone doesn't want to talk, you don't just put them in handcuffs and you know, all but, I mean, he was about ready to tackle her to the ground.
Okay. Were you recording at that time?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have that card?
I recorded the moment I saw them back there. I tried to get my body cam working.
She's out of handcuffs already. So I guess they talked to her and got her side.
But I mean, literally, so a parent can't discipline their child for picking up a stray cat and then sending them in to go sanitize their hands afterwards.
I don't think you've recognized any officer here. None of us know you. None of us know her.
It doesn't.
We don't know. And I know to you it doesn't matter, but to us, if somebody
it's still it's a Friday night.
We just have to check.
And yeah, but there's checking. But when officers are basically told, I mean, Officer Willis was demanding in violation of 3802 my identification.
Okay.
Give me your name. I need it for the report. No, you don't.
Okay.
That's you know, the I-Care Act states that it's not needed because it reinstates the Texas Penal Code 3802 regarding failure to identify. Since this was not a traffic stop.
Okay. I can go with that.
We were already parked. There was no traffic infraction.
And if we would have been able to at least speak to you, you could have said, I'm not going to tell you my name, but here's what happened. And I don't know why that person calling us.
But the thing is, well, see, the thing is,
we would have been out.
My wife was the one outside at the time. My daughter was inside going to the restroom.
Okay. Okay.
Officer Willis automatically assumed it was my wife that I had the altercation with.
Okay. And we just wanted to make sure she's okay, you're okay.
I didn't even have to admit that my daughter was here. She could have stayed inside.
Probably. Yes, sir.
But Officer Hughes thinks, okay, he might as well basically, he could just walk in and drag us out of our home without a warrant. She was at the curtilage of our home. She was standing on the ramps that go right up into the door when he assaulted her.
Okay.
That would be considered curtilage. Yes, we are on a public street, but there's this public sidewalk. But an RV, under Texas law, is considered, a motorhome is considered a home under Texas law.
Okay. And the ramp is too?
It would be considered the porch.
Okay, well.
Just like, because if the steps weren't, the steps are broken. The steps are broken.
Okay.
So the ramp functions as steps, especially because of my disabilities.
Okay. So, Mr. Miller, let's just come full circle here. So now we know there wasn't a disturbance because you and I were at least able to talk. The biggest disturbance, the biggest assault on my daughter was Hughes. Still have the complaint, and we are still going to work that through and send it up to IA. My sergeant's here. Do you want to talk to her too, or am I sufficient enough to get this complaint started for you? She's right here. I mean, it's not going to be.
Call her over. I'd rather discuss it all with you. Have you relate? I have COPD and out of breath, and
you're fine, sir.
I do have some minor memory. Officers, I do have a knife in the basket. I'm not going to the basket. I'm just saying up front here.
What's up?
I do have a knife in the basket of the scooter.
Okay.
And some other tools that can be. I'm just going up front. I need to sit down and grab a drink up right here. So I'm just letting you know that that's where those items are. So that way there's no misunderstandings.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, sir, what's your first name? Just your first name. Because I can't say a name.
I already gave it to the corporal.
Okay. Well, I'm Detective Perez.
You can call me Reverend.
Reverend. Okay.
Yes, I am an ordained minister.
Awesome. So my name is Rosie Perez, and I'm a detective with the Child Abuse Unit. So I just so happen to be working patrol tonight, and the best thing about this is that I can kind of talk to everybody and just figure out generally what happened.
I got into my daughter for picking up a cat.
Picking up a cat?
That she's been told multiple times not to pick up.
Why are you yelling at me? I'm going to treat you with respect 100% because I think you deserve it, okay?
I haven't been getting it from APD or any other agency in Travis County. Heck, I don't even get it from my own brother here in this county.
I mean, I can't speak for yours, but I can tell you that I'm trying to help get some kind of resolution for tonight, at least here. So you said I should call you Reverend. So I'll do that, but let me ask you. So she was picking up a cat she's not supposed to be picking up.
Yes, and I came around the corner because I was working on verifying some lights work and trying to diagnose where I've got to shorten the wiring.
Yeah.
So that way I have proper stuff for the trailer. And I came around the corner from doing that, and she had already been told multiple times by both me and her mother to leave the cat alone because we're trying to get that cat to move on from us. Because they got pregnant, we don't need kittens, we don't need any of that.
And you have a dog, so that they usually don't get along.
Well, when it was a kitten, we allowed it in to protect it because it was before the winter.
Oh yeah.
And being a dog park nearby, and it was a little kitten and mute, had a good heart, and let it in, took care of it a little bit. Then it decided to go out and become a mama. And we've been telling our daughter over and over, leave the cat alone.
Okay.
Now, I didn't have my cane. I told this to the corporal that, I told my wife when she came out that I got onto our daughter for picking up the cat. I came around the corner. I saw the cat picked up, like holding on to it. I asked her, were you just messing with the cat? No. Okay, no balance. I kicked a couple of times, and we're talking. I mean, that's about how hard, because she was sitting on the ground. I just bought her a brand new camp chair from Academy Sports a couple of days ago. Basically, with what was basically my birthday money. Okay.
Yeah.
She had no reason to be on the ground. She's 12. She's stubborn. She's hit that preteen stubbornness. There's nothing. It doesn't rise to even the level of corporal punishment.
Yeah, so...
I mean, corporal punishment is a belt or a paddle,
Yeah.
I grew up with yeah, there was nothing. She got up, she went into the bathroom, and that was it.
Okay. All right.
But I didn't even have to mention even any of that because it doesn't rise to the level of a crime or anything. Based upon someone calling, and I have the right to remain silent. I don't have to say anything to anybody.
I'm glad you know you're right. So, Reverend, but let me let you know, right? Like, you also know that community caretaking is super important, right? And it sounds like you're super reasonable. So, if you see something happening to a child...
It's one thing to show up and investigate. It's another thing to show up and...
Why are you yelling at me?
There's a generator over there. I'm making sure I'm heard clearly.
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I have a deep voice to begin with, but I'm making sure I'm heard and understood clearly.
I got you. I'm listening.
That, and I am recording.
That makes sense.
And make sure everybody, make sure their devices can hear me as well. Okay. Officer Hughes. Yeah, my wife went back to the corner of the trailer with him. My daughter did not leave that wooden ramp right there.
Okay.
She did not want to go with him. She did not feel comfortable going with him alone back near the back of the trailer. And I mentioned that she has the right to have I mentioned she was a minor multiple times. In fact, if anyone, you should be investigating anyone for child abuse right now, is Officer Hughes. I told him she's a minor multiple times. She's 12. She wants a parent present. And I sat there and said, and if you don't want me back there, you can have her mom go back there with her, which is inside the RV, before she could even have the chance to turn around and ask, or for me to try and turn around and ask. He closed the gap, grabbed her arm, and started to place her in handcuffs for no crime. To a 12-year-old female. How hard, when there was already a female officer here, Officer Willis, questioning me, to swap roles, him take over questioning me, and her go with my daughter. I even suggested that before he put his hands on my daughter. And he grabbed a hold of it because she kept backing up away from him, scared.
So it sounds like, hold on a second, it sounds like your concerns you addressed with Corporal Prado.
And hopefully the sergeant as well.
They can address those.
Well, if you're you're supposedly a detective.
I am, and I'm looking at the incident that happened that brought us here, right? I'm trying to.
Which was nothing.
Hold on. And I'll admit sometimes things get blown out of proportion, right? But it still doesn't mean that we don't come and try and figure out what happened.
Okay? It doesn't give the right of officers to lay their hands on people with no cause.
So.
With no laws being broken.
Clarify for me just one thing, Reverend. So your daughter was sitting on the ground.
When it originally happened, she was sitting on the ground, literally in between the feet of those two officers.
Okay, just on the sidewalk.
Right on the sidewalk. And she had picked up the cat. Apparently tossed the cat a hot dog or something from her dinner. A leftover hot dog. Okay. Or I don't know, the wife could have done that. I don't know. I didn't see who tossed the hot dog. But I came around from the front, I've got batteries and, multimeter and stuff out from testing lights.
Right.
To verify they still work and didn't have a short in them. One I recently ordered from Amazon hasn't been used yet. Apparently I got wiring issues at the back end of the RV.
Yeah.
So, but I was testing that, realized they worked. I came around. She's already been told multiple times over the last 3 months or more, leave the cat alone.
So what did the contact look like?
Me unbalanced, shoving my foot, but I kicked more of the ground than I did to her.
Okay. And what part of her body did you make contact with?
Right here. I just barely, literally, like maybe one toe was able to make contact. And like I said, and it wasn't, I had, because of my disabilities, I have no strength like I can't, I never was a punter for the Cowboys or anything like that.
Better pick a better team, but yeah.
Well, so ever since she was 3 years old, she's been so big that people said she'd make a great linebacker for the Cowboys.
Hey, so let me ask you this. If we leave just things as they are, right, which is, and I have Officer Willis document. Hold on one second, let me ask the question. What is the rest of the night going to look like?
Our family getting ready to go to bed, watch TV, go to bed, just standard nighttime routines.
Okay. So my question, I guess, is should we have concerns for further issues tonight?
No.
Okay.
There wasn't even a concern to begin with.
Okay. Now she's only 12, and you've mentioned that, right?
She's 12, almost 13, but sometimes she acts like she's grown. She's got her mother's attitude. She's got that New York attitude.
I have 2 teens, so I can
understand. Okay,
what
wait till you are next to her. She's as big as you are.
I have been over there, but let me ask you this. Do you mind if I talk to her briefly? Just make sure she's not injured?
Willis has already been talking to her. She had no problem talking to the female officer.
Well,
it was Hughes that was the problem.
I am a female, but Willis, she wasn't super cooperative even when I went over there with Willis.
Well, so, would you be if you got put in handcuffs and manhandled by a man?
Hold on, I had to take her out of handcuffs. So she's not in hand. As soon as I went over there, I had to take her out of cuffs.
But I mean, wouldn't you be a bit apprehensive of talking to people who have your best interest at heart that treat you like that?
I'm just asking the question. Do you care if I
I prefer nobody else talk to her and you let her be for the night. Since there's no parent present and no lawyer present to protect her rights, because obviously I can't even protect her rights. Aren't even protected right here on our doorstep.
Reverend, can you get her mom to walk over there with me? Because she's saying no one can hold the dog. I would love to have her mom present. I'm trying to do my best to assist in this situation.
That would require me going in.
I mean,
yeah, that's the thing.
You want me to be as helpful as I can be, but I need some help.
See if I can figure something out here.
Thank you.
No guarantees, I can try.
Thank you.
The dog is aggressive, lovable. She's not aggressive.
I hear you.
I
believe
biting.
you. I'm sure you can handle it.
The only way I've ever gotten teeth is because she was playing too much, and like with her raccoon right there. Literally, my daughter was standing right here when he closed the gap, grabbed her, and started. I'm sorry, I don't do that to my daughter. Off about the situation right now.
She what?
My wife wants to be more hands off about the situation right now.
Yeah. Okay. Let me talk to Willis and those guys.
I mean, I already had my daughter outside and not carrying control, so whatever. It is what it is.
What does that mean?
Her rights have already been violated. So
we can show up to a scene and make sure everybody's okay. We're allowed to do that.
yeah.
So
officers are allowed to basically show up to a scene and take minor female children and yank them and put them in torture cuffs and run off with them.
Those concerns you have addressed with purple.
Yeah, and I'm saying it here in front of you. Oh, you want to be ignorant of the fact that your officers do that shit.
Absolutely
okay.
not. Absolutely not. And you're talking to the wrong detective in regards to that, because I actually grew up in this city. And it's super important that we serve and protect the way that it's intended to be. And I've heard everything that you said, and I'm trying to
Officer Hughes violated the Eye Care Act and the Constitution, but that don't matter.
Let me assist them, and then if we need to make further calls to other agencies, we'll do that.
Officers,
Yes, sir.
may I get your name and badge numbers for the recording, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. And yours, Mr. Basketball Player? You more of a football, soccer person? I can tell by the accent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have that accent that, yeah. You'd rather be across the creek over there at them fields.
Absolutely.
So what part are you from?
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas? I made it down to St. Martin
Oh, okay.
with the Navy.
You want me to put this somewhere for you?
I got it.
Okay.
Hey,
Got it.
Reverend, so this is what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna have them write a report that the incident happened, okay? What everybody said, and we have to write something anyways.
You can write that basically I got out of my daughter for picking up an animal that wasn't supposed to fit.
You told me. That's
Yeah,
it.
it was.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking it up.
We're
Are you gonna, officer? Where's the sergeant?
Car back over there.
I wanted to talk to the sergeant regarding my complaint. I talked to
So then-
the corporal, but I didn't get.
This is your daughter right here. I mean, I'm not